Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, November 7th. And you can see yesterday, before we put this into motion, you can see quite wet out. Many areas picking up anywhere between a half an inch to as much as an inch and a half across the area. But many areas picking up around a half to 3/4 of an inch. And as we put this into motion, we'll show you the headlines. Again, we'll see maybe a sprinkle, some wind today. It'll be cold with some wind chills in the 30s, and we'll have snow showers perhaps scattered about tonight. But again, for the most part, it looks like the main system is going to come in Thursday night into Friday. It looks like we could see a widespread 1 to 2 inch snowfall amount. And you get up into northwest lower Michigan, we may be talking about 4 or more inches. And again, that would be for northwest lower Michigan back into the UP. So it looks like a pretty white outlook coming up here over the next few days. And we'll show you some of the forecasted snowfall amounts as we get later on in the presentation. Again, our normals for the day, our normal high is 50, our normal low is 33. But look on this date, back in 1951, we had a record precipitation day of 1.32 inches of rainfall, and that translated into 11 inches of snow, so just under a foot of snow back in this day in mid-Michigan in 1951. As far as yesterday, though, we had a high of 51, a low of 44, and rainfall amounts, we picked up 56 hundredths of an inch during the day yesterday. We picked up 100th of an inch since midnight, and that brought our total storm to 2/3 of an inch here in the Breckenridge area. And so far for the month, we're running at 5 degrees above normal, so a pretty warm start to the month, but we're going to see that change with some mighty cold air, I think, over the next couple of weeks. And we may, however, though, in the month of November, on a pretty warm note, if you look at some of the longer range models, but that may come after we have maybe a Thanksgiving turkey surprise, and we'll show you that in a moment. Again, way too far out really to take it too seriously, but we'll show you that anyways. Sunrise this morning is 7:21. It'll set tonight at 5:22. And if we look at temperatures around the area this morning, about 5 degrees cooler than yesterday. Temperatures mainly in the mid-30s to low 40s. The warm spot, 41 degrees at Brown City, and the cool spot, 36 over at Lakeview. And if we look at overnight precipitation, you can see just a few hundredths of an inch of rainfall scattered about the area, as we still have some of those moisture clouds rotating around the upper low and the low pressure system that now is moving off to the northeast. And on the satellite, you can see that area of clouds and precipitation moving off to the northeast with some of the colder cloud tops. But some of these low-level clouds are producing some drizzle and some light rain across portions of mid-Michigan. We should see that improve a little bit, but then we may be clipped with maybe a shower later on this afternoon. Could even mix in this evening with a wet snowflake or two. But again, not a lot of precipitation expected here over the next 24 hours, but that'll change as we get into Thursday night. On the radar this morning, you can see some of that activity. Again, pinwheeling through the area, giving some areas some scattered, very light rain showers. Again, for the most part, we'll see those dissipate here through the day, but as the heating of the atmosphere takes place, what little heating there is, that'll create enough instability for maybe a couple pop-up showers this afternoon. On the weather map this morning, you can see kind of a dirty high pressure system, and we refer to that because we got that northwest winds coming across the lakes producing our infamous November clouds. And then our next cold front will be coming through the area, and then we're going to see a low pressure system that's going to move out of the western plains and move into the Great Lakes. And by the time we get into Friday morning, that low pressure system one will be moving to the northeast, and the overall front dropping down to the southwest. And you can see even a forecasted area of heavy snow across northwest lower Michigan into the UP. And again, for much of the MAC area, especially the northern and northwestern portions, we could see again a couple of inches of snow Thursday night into Friday morning as it looks right now. As far as how much precipitation over the next 7 days, about 1/4 of an inch is going to be pretty commonplace across much of the MAC area. And again, much of that will be in the form of snow, and you can see for northwest lower Michigan how that could translate into quite a bit of snow for those areas. As far as how much snow we expect here over the next 72 hours, you can see a very large area of around or at least 2 inches of snow expected across much of the Great Lakes and Midwest. And again, that heavier snow to the northwestern portions of lower Michigan back into the UP. And if we look at the extended outlook, a little bit of good news despite it being very cold looking across the eastern U.S., we begin to see ourselves dry out as we get into the 8 to 14 day period, and hopefully that'll allow a lot of harvest operations to really crank up, and maybe even for many of them finally finish up. But it certainly is going to be a struggle here over the next few days. And if we look at one slide here, this would be for Thanksgiving Day. We'd have a low pressure system, if the GFS was right, across just to the southeast of Lake Huron, and it would be producing about 6 to 12 inches of snow from around the Grand Rapids area or towards Saginaw and up towards Oscoda. Again, way early. This is not going to happen. It could, but chances are this map would change about 20 times between now and then. But it is pretty interesting to see that the GFS is spotting a potential significant winter storm across the Midwest or Great Lakes here as we get towards the holiday activities of Thanksgiving. And if we look at the forecast, again, a breezy day today with winds possibly gusting to 30 miles per hour, temperatures much cooler in the low 40s, and we'll see temperatures continue to fall as we get into Thursday, highs low 40s, down below freezing for Thursday night, and with that snow moving in and temperatures around or below freezing, could get a little bit slick, especially if precipitation rates are heavy enough. But again, I would not be surprised to see a lot of areas pick up a coating to maybe 2 inches of snow across the area, and then temperatures cold only in the mid 30s on Saturday with overnight lows in the 20s. Again, so it'll be a very cold start to the day on Saturday, and if you're playing football in the UP, these temperatures you can drop about another 5 to 8 degrees. We expect kickoff at Ishpeming to be in the mid to upper 20s with a chance of some snow showers in the area, so very cold up there. And then finally, as we get into Monday or Sunday, maybe a couple of leftover snow flurries mixed with rain, temperatures in the 30s after lows in the 20s. So a pretty cold forecast coming up here over the next 7 days. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.